Okay, here we are um, in the shed, and this is an apple variety called Beauty of Bath. Very attractive looking apple. One of the earliest ripening apples. Um, used to be very iconic in England in the early 20th century, so sort of 1920 to 1950s, before we had refrigeration available. Um, but I've heard some bad reports about it. It became very iconic, but then I've heard it doesn't taste very nice. And I actually tasted one the other day, and it was not very nice at all. However, I'm hoping this is slightly more ripe, so I'm going to have a taste of this and see whether this is any better. So here we go. Now, the one I had 2 weeks ago, which got blown off in the wind, was very sour. It was not very pleasant at all. But this has been on the tree an additional 2 weeks. Now, it's not very crunchy. It's a soft apple. Most early ripening apples are. I mean, here we are in we're the 22nd of January, so this is very early in the season. But that is not bad. So the people I've heard on YouTube saying that this is awful, yes, they do have a tendency to drop before they're ripe, and they taste horrible. They're very bitter, very sharp, very sour. But this remained on the tree I would say until it reached perfect ripeness. And I can understand why this became so very iconic. I mean, it's very beautiful. Look at that. That's a beautiful apple. And if it can stay on the tree long enough to be perfect, the problem with it is when it drops, it becomes very soft within a day or two. It bruises easily. They used to say you put straw under the baths so that they get a soft landing. I did precisely that with this. I didn't put straw under it. I put a pillow under this, and it dropped yesterday onto the pillow, had a soft landing. It's actually very, very nice. Not as good a flavour as the much later ones, but very, very edible. So, when the oil runs out, and we have to go back to eating things when they come into season, we need to keep varieties like this going. And that's what my project is in my little backyard orchard. I've got sort of 40 apple trees of various varieties. Yep, compared to the one I ate 2 weeks ago, which was basically, it was edible, but it was, you know, this I actually am eating with some pleasure. It actually does. It's got quite a pleasant flavour to it. So, to all those naysayers out there who say this is horrible, the one I had 2 weeks ago, yes, I would agree. But this one that hung on, and I mean, that's a fair size apple. I mean, you know, that fits pretty reasonably in the palm of my hand. If they stay on the tree and get to this size, and look at that. I mean, how beautiful is that? That's a The tree has only produced 2 full-size apples this year. The first one was awful. This one, I am actually eating this with some considerable pleasure. So, Beauty of Bath became quite iconic in the UK in the early 20th century because it was the first apple that anyone had tasted for probably 3 months. You know, the last of the English apples would have finished in, say, maybe May, April, and this would have become available in July, August. And nobody had an apple prior to then. This was prior to the global market where we could get, you know, perfect apples delivered from Australia, you know, New Zealand, in our off season, in the UK off season. So people had not seen these, not seen or eaten an apple. Maybe they knew a bit more about apples than we do, because although if you pick this, it'll be soft off the tree. It's soft now. If you like a Granny Smith, you probably won't like this, but it's very juicy. A little bit of crunch, but it's certainly, you wouldn't call it a hard textured apple. It's a more melting flavour, melting texture rather. Actually, I said to Imogen yesterday, we'll leave this one with no netting to let the birds have it, because the last one I ate 2 weeks ago was awful. I don't think so anymore. We will be trying to grow this. Very, very pleasant. Beauty of Bath. There you go.